It's our top 5 sports cards of the year. Which cards went up and down the most in 2024? We'll tell you next. Hello, sports card investors, and happy almost New Year. Welcome to our top 5 cards of the year. As we sit here today, right at the end of 2024, we are going to recap the cards that went up and down the most over the course of the entire year. And hopefully you have some of these in your collection. Well, specifically, hopefully you have some of the cards that went up the most in 2024 in your collection. I bet you do, because this list has a lot of big names on it. So let's get started. And of course, today's top 5 is sponsored by Whatnot. Whatnot has awesome live auctions every day and night starting at just $1 for packs, boxes, breaks, singles, and more. It's a lot of fun, and if you scan the QR code on your screen or use the special link in our show description below, you'll get $15 in free credit when you sign up for Whatnot. All right, I want to start today's show by looking at the market pulse of the SEI 500 in Market Movers. These are 500 of the most prominent sports cards. You can see on the screen the various cards that make up the SEI 500 index. They're from all different generations. We've got new cards, we've got old cards. They're from every single sport. They're all represented in here. And I want to show you what this SEI 500 index has done on the year overall. So going back to January 1st, all the way back here, all the way through now, the SEI 500 index is up 4% on the year. We've had a positive year for sports cards. If you bought many of these iconic cards from all the different sports, all the different eras, and held on to them throughout the course of the year, chances are today those cards are more valuable than they were back on January 1st. And this is significant, and I'll show you why. I'm switching here to look at the SEI 500 index from the previous 2 years. This is from January 1st of 2022 all the way through December 30th of 2023. And you can see during that 2-year period, the SEI 500 index was down 32.6%. So cards, even the most iconic cards, dropped in 2022, dropped more in 2023. But then you switch back over to 2024, things have reversed. It was an up year. Cards went in a positive direction, and that's really exciting. And it has me really excited about what we're going to see for the sports card market in 2025 and beyond. But now, let's look at the cards that have gone up and down the most all year. It's time for today's top 5. All right, we're starting today's list with our cold cards of the year. Now, every week we start the program with a cold card because it's a reminder that sometimes the most hyped cards in the sports card market, the ones you see on the hot list on this top 5 program, sometimes those can quickly cool off and turn very cold. And that is the case with all of our cold cards of the year. We're going to start today with 4 honorable mention cold cards of the year before I give you the big cold card of the year. And here are the honorable mentions. So first of all, it's sad to say, Anthony Richardson. My Florida Gator, Anthony Richardson, is one of the honorable mentions for cold card of the year. We're going to look at his Prism Silver in PSA 10, and we're looking on the year overall. This card is down 62%. We'll look at that in more detail in just a second, but you can see that red line on the graph. That is what his PSA 10 Prism Silver has done on the year. Not great. CJ Stroud. It's sad to me that CJ Stroud is on the cold card of the year because his cards were so hot last year, last football season. But this season's been a little bit of a different story for CJ Stroud. The offense of the Texans has just not been the same, and his play has just not been the same despite them having a winning record. And we're going to look at his Prism Silver PSA 10. Guys, that one is down 82% on the course of the year. That is the light blue line on the graph there at the bottom. That's ugly. How about Will Levis? What a disappointment Will Levis has been. A lot of excitement about this quarterback for the Titans, and now he's sitting on the bench in his second year, no longer the starter of the team, and his future in the NFL definitely heavily in doubt. We're going to look at his 2023 Prism Silver PSA 10. That one is down 86% on the year. Those 3 cards might make sense to you to be on the cold list. This one might surprise you. Our fourth honorable mention cold card of the year, Victor Wembanyama. His 2023 Prism Silver PSA 10 is down 71% on the year. That's the dark blue line on the chart there. Why is that? Because Wemby's actually been playing great. He's been playing really, really well, putting up some impressive numbers in his second year and staying healthy. I think the issue here is there was, first of all, so much hype about Wemby, but second of all, so many of his cards flooding the market. Both Topps and Panini printed a ton of Wemby cards. Everybody submitted them for grading. There's an unbelievable number of PSA slabbed Wemby rookie cards on the market, and there just simply is so much supply that demand can't keep up with it no matter how good he's doing, and his cards are going down and down, unfortunately, in terms of value. Hopefully that will turn around some as this season goes on. But these are the four honorable mentions, and they're all an ugly story. 1 year ago, that Anthony Richardson 2023 Prism Silver PSA 10 was selling for $400. It's now selling for $150. The CJ Stroud, a year ago, that card was selling for over $2,000. His 2023 Prism Silver and PSA 10. Now it's $375. That is painful. Painful, painful, painful. Will Levis, this is awful too. A year ago, his 2023 Prism Silver PSA 10 was $215. Now it's $31. Wow, not good. And then Wemby, a year ago, his 2023 Prism Silver PSA 10 was $2,500. Today it is $727. His cards, at least, I have a little bit of optimism, are going to start to tick back up. The rest of these guys, it's been a free fall. It might continue to be a free fall for them. Those are our honorable mention cold cards of the year. But now, let's go to the actual cold card of the year, the coldest of the cold. And unfortunately, it is Connor Bedard, the center for the Chicago Blackhawks. Yes, Connor Bedard, the guy that everybody was so excited about. Now, last season, during Bedard's rookie year, the Blackhawks won just 23 games. This year, they're on pace to win 28. So I guess that's a little bit better, but it's still nowhere near enough wins to get the job done for them. And Bedard, in the meantime, has struggled to meet expectations. He currently holds one of the worst plus-minus ratings amongst all NHL players. And earlier this month, the Blackhawks fired their coach. He had posted a 49-102-13 record over 2 seasons. Will this leadership change make a difference for them, and will it make a difference for Bedard? Keep in mind, Bedard is only 19 years old, so he still has a lot of long-term potential, but short-term, the speculation, the hype, it has really fallen flat, and that has really affected his card market. Here we are in Market Movers looking at the last year of 6 of Connor Bedard's rookie cards in PSA 10, and look at that chart. That is depressing to see. These cards are all down anywhere between 79% and 85% over the course of the last year. It has been rough going. The ones that we're looking at here are his 2023 Upper Deck NHL Draft Short Print in PSA 10. We're going to look at it as Young Guns base from 2023 Upper Deck and PSA 10. We're going to look at his Upper Deck Dazzlers Orange in PSA 10, his 2023 Upper Deck O-Pee-Chee Glossy in PSA 10. We're going to look at his marquee rookies from 2023 O-Pee-Chee and PSA 10. And then finally, his 2023 Upper Deck Star Rookies, the base there in PSA 10. It doesn't matter which one of these you might have. I mean, it has just been an absolute bloodbath on all of these cards. From a dollar standpoint, I mean, sit down for this. This is so ugly. Listen to this. His 2023 Upper Deck NHL Draft Short Print in PSA 10, 1 year ago, was an $8,400 card, and it most recently sold for $1,730. I mean, yikes. That is, ooh. How about his Young Guns PSA 10, which a lot of people have, probably a lot of you watching this show have. A year ago, that was a $4,000 card, and today it sells for $641. Connor Bedard's cards man, have they been cold. All right, enough of those cold cards. Now let's talk about the cards that have gone up the most this year, because a lot of cards have gone up a lot this year. And we're going to start with our investment card of the year. We have an honorable mention to begin with today, and our honorable mention for investment card of the year was exquisite basketball cards from 2003 through 2009. Those years of exquisite basketball, those were all the years of exquisite basketball. They have been red hot in the market this year. Now, exquisite was the highest end set of its time. When it came out back in 2003, Upper Deck put this out. It offered unparalleled quality, design, and rarity, unbelievable patch auto cards, so high end. It paved the way for sets that you see today, like Flawless and National Treasures and Diamond Icons and Dynasty. Exquisite was the first. It was the first set like that that really just raised the bar, creating a new category of super premium sports cards. And for whatever reason, this year in 2024, all of those exquisite cards have gotten super hot again in the market and have been going up a ton. And I'm going to show you just a couple of specific sales. These don't sell regularly enough to be able to have like big trend line graphs and everything like that. But I'm going to show you a couple of the record-breaking sales this year. This one on Heritage Auctions here. This is a beautiful copy, a PSA 9 of the 2003 Upper Deck Exquisite Collection Michael Jordan number piece auto. So these are numbered to 23, which is the number on the jersey. This card sold for $562,800 earlier this year. That was the highest price ever paid for one of these cards. But check out this one. This was on Fanatics Collect. An unbelievable card. This is a beautiful dual autograph, exquisite numbers from 2009, a BGS 8. Michael Jordan and LeBron James, numbered to 23, their collective jersey number. This one sold for a record of $204,000 earlier this year, once again setting a big-time record price. Here's another example. This is the 2003 Exquisite Collection Limited Logos Michael Jordan patch auto number to 75. This one also sold for $264,000, I should say, earlier this year. So what's notable about this card is back in May of 2020, this exact same card sold for $92,000. So think about that. During the pandemic hysteria, when prices were sky high, this card sold for $92,000, and here we are in 2024, and it has now sold for $264,000. So while many cards in the sports card market went down since 2020, this one went up multiple times over, and that is the case with a lot of these exquisite cards. I could give example after example, but we're going to stop there. The category of exquisite basketball cards from 2003 through 2009 is our honorable mention for the investment card of the year. But there can be only one true investment card of the year. Probably the most talked about card of the year was the Michael Jordan 1984 star card. Now, full disclosure, I own some of these Michael Jordan 1984 star cards, and I was the one talking about some of these cards, but lots of people were talking about these cards, and this year, these cards went up in the market quite a bit. Now, a lot of people consider these cards to be Michael Jordan's true rookie cards. This is the 101, card number 101. This is his 1984 star card design. You know, prior to the last few years, most collectors would say the 86 Fleer was considered Jordan's rookie card, but the tide seemed to have shifted a bit. And now many collectors favor this 1984 star over the 1986 Fleer as Jordan's true rookie card. And it seemed to take hold this year, and it really caused these prices to go. Look at the graph here on the screen. And it's not just the number 101 of this 1984 star card that we're looking at. It's also the Olympic card number 195 from that 1984 star set. And then also card number 288, which was the Rookie of the Year card. He had 3 cards in that 1984 star set of the regular size card. There was actually a larger format card of him as well. But we're looking at these cards here in BGS 8 and PSA 7 condition, because in those two conditions, we had several sales throughout the course of the year. And you can see from the chart, these all did very well over the course of the year. In fact, all of these were up anywhere between about 16% and all the way up at 87% over the course of the year. From a dollar standpoint, it was that 1984 Star 101 card in BGS 8. At the beginning of the year, you could have scooped that card for a little bit over $21,000. And today, that card most recently sold for a little bit over $29,000. So all of these cards, big increases. Actually, I should say the PSA 7 of that card has actually gone up even more from a dollar value. Beginning of the year, that card was a little bit over $24,000, and today that card is a little bit over $38,000. And of course, the higher grades, they've gone up even more. So if you have any 1984 Star in your collection, it's been a really, really good year for you and for those cards. But now let's talk about some more modern cards, and we're going to get into our top 5 list. We're starting today with an honorable mention, and that is Pokemon. Yes, Pokemon. In fact, a whole smattering of Pokemon cards have been absolutely red hot in the market this year. Pokemon does not make its way into the top 5 very often, because this is Sports Card Investor, not Pokemon Card Investor. But Pokemon and TCG, trading card games in general, have experienced rapid growth this year. Many collectors are viewing them now as valuable long-term investments, and you can see that in the market. Let's take a look here at Market Movers. Remember that market pulse we showed a few minutes ago, the SCI 500 index? Well, here I'm looking at 3 of our Pokemon indexes that we track within Market Movers. The Sun and Moon era index of Pokemon cards over the last year, those are up almost 10%. So if you have just a bunch of Sun and Moon cards in your collection, key cards from those sets, you're up about 10% on the year. Sword and Shield. If you have a bunch of the key Sword and Shield era cards, those are up almost 65% on the year. Absolutely incredible gains. And then finally, we track a Charizard index. If you have a bunch of Charizard cards from all kinds of different sets in your collection, Charizard as a whole is up over 14% on the year. So it's been a really good year for a lot of Pokemon cards. And I got to show this to you. If you go into Market Movers and you go into our price movements and you start scrolling through the cards that have gone up most over the course of the year, you're going to see a lot of Pokemon cards dominating, really more than sports cards. Like, a lot of these Pokemon cards are up above the sports cards in terms of total growth this year, which is very impressive to see. Here are some of the Pokemon cards that went up the most this year. This Charizard VMAX right here, this from 2021 Shining Fates, the Shiny Rare Full Art in PSA 10, that card's up 10% on the year. The Umbreon VMAX 2021 Sword and Shield Evolving Skies, the Holo Alternative Art Secret Rare in PSA 10, this one is up 130% on the year. How about this Lugia V from 2022 Sword and Shield Silver Tempest, the Holo Alternative Full Art in PSA 10 condition. That one is up 91% on the year. This Pikachu card from 2023 Crown Zenith, the Holo Secret Rare in PSA 10. That card is up 119% on the year. The Magikarp from 2023 Japanese Scarlet and Violet Triplet Beat. That is the full art rare PSA 10 of that card, and that is up 47% on the year. And finally, Pikachu with the gray felt hat from the Van Gogh Collection 2023 Scarlet and Violet Black Star promo in PSA 10 condition. That card is up 46% on the year. It has been a good year to be a Pokemon collector. Okay, now let's turn our attention back to sports. And the number 5 card of the year is Bobby Witt Jr.'s cards, the shortstop for the Kansas City Royals. The Royals were one of the most improved Major League Baseball teams this year. They had an 86-76 record in 2024. Back in 2023, they were 56-106. And Bobby Witt Jr.'s breakout season was a major factor in the Royals' dramatic improvement. He batted .332, which led all players. He also posted the 4th best OPS at .977. The Royals got a playoff berth. That was their first playoff berth since 2015. And beyond his performance on the diamond. A lot of collectors like collecting Bobby Witt Jr. cards because he is a big-time collector himself. In fact, he sent out wedding invitations to his groomsmen by sending them custom baseball cards from Topps, and they were PSA graded custom cards. So Bobby Witt is a huge baseball card fanatic, and his cards, they are doing huge things in the market in 2024. Let's take a look at some of those cards here in Market Movers. We're going to look at his 2020 Bowman Chrome Prospect Auto, his first Prospect Auto. We'll look at that in PSA 10 condition. We're going to look at his 2022 Topps rookie card, the SP variation. We'll look at that raw. We're also going to look at his 2022 Topps Update rookie card base in PSA 10. We're going to look at his 2022 Topps Update SP variation back of jersey in raw condition. We'll look at his 2022 Topps Chrome Update Sapphire Edition base in PSA 10. And finally, his 2022 Topps Chrome Update base in PSA 10. And over the course of the year, you can see on the chart, these are all moving in the right direction. These cards are all up anywhere between 71% and 174%. The biggest gainers? How about his 2020 Bowman Chrome First Prospect Auto in PSA 10? You could have bought that card a year ago for $787, and now it is $1,350. That's been a big gain. Also significant, his 2022 Topps Update SP variation raw a year ago was $85. Today it is $233. And even his 2022 Topps Chrome Update base card in PSA 10 has gone up a lot. A year ago, that was $127, and it most recently sold for $250. Let's turn our attention to basketball for the number 4 card of the year, and it is Paige Bueckers, the guard for the Connecticut Huskies. Now, you may have been expecting Caitlin Clark to be on today's list. She's actually not, because her card started 2024 already pretty hot. Paige Bueckers' cards at the beginning of 2024 were much more under the radar, so they had more room to go up over the course of the year. Caitlin Clark's cards went up as well, but Paige Bueckers' cards from a percentage standpoint went up even more, and she played fantastic. She led the Connecticut Huskies into the Final Four last season. They were a very, very exciting team to watch, and this year they're off to a good start as well. Many forget that Paige Bueckers became the first freshman ever to win National Player of the Year back in 2021, but she's really showing her skills and capability now, reminding everybody how great she is. And of course, she will be eligible for the WNBA draft this next year. So she will go into the WNBA, and it's going to be exciting to watch her and Caitlin Clark both playing in that league next year. But for now, we can all marvel in her card prices. Let's take a look here in Market Movers. This is Paige Bueckers' 2023 Bowman Chrome University. This is her first Bowman card. This is the base version of the card. We're going to look at that in PSA 10. We're also going to look at the pink refractor version of that card in PSA 10. We'll look at the purple refractor version of that card in raw condition. We're going to look at the regular refractor version of that card in PSA 10. We're going to look at the X-fractor version of that card in raw condition. And then finally, we're going to look at the autograph version of that card in raw condition. And you can see on the chart over the last year, all of these have moved up nicely. In fact, they're up anywhere between about 30% and 369%. From a dollar standpoint, it is that Prospect Auto in raw condition that's gone up the most. You could have scooped that card a year ago for $160, and today that card is worth $320. And how about the refractor version of her first Bowman in PSA 10 condition? A year ago, that was a $65 card. Today, it is selling for $150. It's been a very nice year for Paige Bueckers cards. We certainly have some football in the hottest cards of the year, and in the number 3 spot, it is Sam Darnold, the quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings. At this time last year, Sam Darnold was a backup quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers, but this year, he has the keys to the offense of the Minnesota Vikings as they get prepared to potentially make a big playoff run. Darnold was originally the 3rd overall pick in the 2018 NFL Draft, where he spent 3 seasons with the Jets before being traded to the Carolina Panthers. And he faced some criticism early in his career with those teams. He had a lot of struggles. He did not look like a franchise quarterback in those early years. But this year, everything has changed. This year, he's thrown for over 3,500 yards and 30 touchdown passes with the Vikings, and he has led them to a 13-2 record. So you better believe it that his cards have been going up this year in the sports card market. Let's take a look here in Market Movers. I'll show you what I'm talking about. This is Sam Darnold's 2018 Prism base card. We're going to look at that in PSA 10. We're going to look at his Optic Downtown from 2018, his rookie Downtown in PSA 10. We're going to look at his Optic Base from 2018 in PSA 10. We're going to look at his Donruss Base from 2018 in PSA 10. And then finally his 2018 Prism Stained Glass in PSA 10. Pretty low population card, just a population of 80 on that card. All of these cards over the year have done really well in the sports card market. They're up anywhere between 98% and all the way up at 606%. The gains on some of these have been wild. His 2018 Prism Base PSA 10 a year ago was $7.50. Today it's $30. Not bad. His Optic Downtown rookie in PSA 10 a year ago was $206. Today it is $625. That's nice. His Optic Base in PSA 10 a year ago was $8.50. Today it's $60. Huge gain there. His Donruss Base has jumped from $20 to $40 in PSA 10. And his Prism Stained Glass a year ago was $57. And it most recently sold for $198. What a year for Sam Darnold's cards. We're going to keep going with football for the number 2 spot today, but we're going to turn our attention to college football. And the number 2 card of the year is Travis Hunter, the wide receiver and cornerback for the Colorado Buffaloes. In Deion Sanders' second season at the helm of Colorado, the Buffaloes showed a ton of improvement this year. They posted an outstanding 9-3 record after winning just 4 games last year. And of course, the Buffaloes had many stars on the team, including Deion's 2 sons. But at the end of the day, it was actually Travis Hunter was the one who stood out the most over the course of the season. He garnered a lot of attention from fans and media for playing on both sides of the ball at a consistently high level. And of course, this all paid off when he recently won the Heisman Trophy, along with a whole lot of other awards, such as an award for Defensive Player of the Year and an award for Outstanding Receiver of the Year, amongst a whole bunch of other stuff. And his cards, the way they performed, they should win some awards as well. Let's take a look here in Market Movers. This is his 2023 Bowman Chrome University Prospects card. This is his first Bowman card. We're going to look at that in PSA 10. We're going to look at the pink refractor version of that card in raw condition. We're going to look at the refractor version of that card in PSA 10 condition. We'll look at the X-Fractor version of that card in raw condition. We're going to look at the auto version of that card in raw condition. And then finally, the Sapphire version of that card from Sapphire Edition. We'll look at that in PSA 10. It's been a good year for all of these in the sports card market. You can see on the chart, these cards are up anywhere between about 89% and all the way up at 1,456% over the course of the year. Crazy gains. His first Bowman PSA 10 base went from $27 to $51 over the course of the year. The pink in raw, that card was in dollar bins a year ago. That was a $2.41 card a year ago. It most recently sold for over $37. Not a bad flip from a dollar bin if you got one of those in a dollar bin a year ago. His refractor in PSA 10 of that first Bowman's gone from around $30 to around $70. The X-Fractor in raw has jumped from $7 to $27. His auto in raw has jumped from around $60 up to $185. And his Sapphire edition in PSA 10 has jumped from $36 up to $99. Been a big year for Travis Hunter. All right, this is it. We've made it to the end. It's time for the number 1 card of all of 2024. But before I give it to you, let me remind you that all of the charts and graphs from today's show are from Market Movers. Guys, you need Market Movers now because 2025 is literally just around the corner. And January is typically a really strong month for the sports card market. So get Market Movers now so that you can watch the price changes of millions and millions of cards in January and comp out every single card in your collection, track your entire collection. You can get started for free. Just go to sportscardinvestor.com and click Market Movers in the main menu bar, or go to the App Store on your phone and download Market Movers. Search for Market Movers in the App Store on your phone right now. All right, here we are. The number 1 card of the year. It is football. It is not a quarterback. It is the NFL. It is a player who got traded in the offseason to a new team. And he's really lifted that team, and some think that team is now the favorite for the Super Bowl. And he's been playing outstanding, running the ball all over the field. Did you guess Saquon Barkley? If you did, give yourself a hand, because Saquon Barkley is the #1 card of the year for 2024. And of course, the Eagles have been one of the most consistent teams this year with a 12-3 record so far this year. And this past offseason, the Eagles made a huge addition to their offensive personnel by signing Saquon in free agency. He is on pace to potentially break the NFL's single-season rushing record set by Eric Dickerson back in 1984. And even if he doesn't do that, he's going to end this year first in carries, first in rushing yards, first in yards from scrimmage. His impact this season has been absolutely undeniable. Huge impact, and the impact on his card market, it's been undeniable as well. Let's take a look here in Market Movers. We're going to look at a bunch of his rookie cards. This is his 2018 Prism rookie card. We'll look at that in PSA 10. We're also going to look at his 2018 Prism rookie autograph card in PSA 10. We'll look at his 2018 Optic Holo in PSA 10. We'll look at his 2018 rookie downtown card in PSA 10. We'll look at his 2018 Donruss base card in PSA 10. And finally, his 2018 rookie ticket auto in PSA 10 condition. And you can see, look at the chart. Look at the chart, especially over the last 2 months. My God, these cards have gone up a lot in the sports card market. These cards are up anywhere between about 90% and 235%. His Prism base in PSA 10 over the last year has shot up from $41 up to $133. His Prism rookie autographs, PSA 10s, jumped from $199 to $666. His Optic Holo has jumped from $90 to $295. His Optic Downtowns jumped from $350 to $853. His Donruss base from $29 up to $78 in PSA 10. And then finally, his Contenders rookie ticket auto PSA 10 has jumped from $200 up to $381. And for that reason, Saquon Barkley has run away with our #1 card of 2024. Guys, thank you for watching today's episode. Happy New Year to you. I hope your 2024 winds up in a fabulous fashion. I hope you have a great celebration ahead of you. And cheers to a fantastic 2025. Here at Sports Card Investor, we truly thank you for your support throughout the whole 2024 year. Thanks for watching our videos. Thanks for subscribing to our channel. Thanks for giving our videos a like. And thanks for supporting Cards HQ and doing your online shopping at Cards HQ. We really appreciate it. And thanks for downloading Market Movers. Go do that right now if you haven't yet. Go to the App Store on your phone and download the Market Movers app, or go to sportscardinvestor.com, click Market Movers in the main menu bar. We appreciate you. Happy New Year. We'll see you in 2025. Take care.